and welcome to round 2 of the BMW Car Club of America Capital Chapter, National Capital Chapter, OctoberFAST season presented by RaceFirst. So this series runs fixed setup BMW Z4 GT3s. The Z4 has competed in such series as the American Le Mans Series, European Le Mans Series, as well as the United Sports Car Championship, before it was phased out and replaced by the M6 GTLM car. So tonight we're at Zandvoort. This is our second round of the season. We're coming off of Spa, where Rafael Torres took the victory. This is a 5-round championship just in October here, where we're mainly doing European marquee circuits. So we ran Spa last week. We're here at Zandvoort this week. Next week we'll be in Barcelona. And the week after that, October 22nd, will be at Brands Hatch. And the final round will be at the Nürburgring Grand Prix. Not the Nordschleife, but the Grand Prix, the circuit that the WEC and the F1 will be running. I think, are they running it this year? I believe they are. Might even be coming up. Anyway, so we're heading right into qualifying here. We've got a 20-minute qualifying session and a 30-minute race. We do have a crowded field tonight, a little bit larger. I'm a little bit surprised, being that this is Zandvoort, and last week, you know, it was Spa-Francorchamps, and that is kind of one of the big series on the calendar. One of everybody's favorite. So I was a little bit surprised that we have a little bit better car count tonight, but this is always good. So let's go ahead, quickly look at points. So last week, as I mentioned earlier, Rafael had won the first race. And on my points, there we go. Came back, so Rafael is in first in the points, Dave Fitzgerald in second, Brian Kennedy, Peter Lanik, Yakov Bielik, Joseph Getrides, Colin Kordenek, Brian Hare, Stephen Tenney, and Robert Benson. So all of those drivers scored points last week, so after tonight, I imagine that we'll have some cars that have scored points, and they're going to be out of the top 10 there, and we'll be updating that for you next week. So we head on to qualifying. A little bit shorter lap this week. Back there at Spa-Francorchamps, we were about 2.5-minute laps. We're looking at about 1.5 laps tonight, so we're going to be doing quite a few more laps tonight than we did last week. So last week we had some talk after the race about, we didn't really expect this to happen, but there was some fuel strategy kind of to play out near the end where some cars just ran out of fuel, or they had to do a lot of fuel saving at the end of that run. So Chris puts down our first lap at a 1:37. Provisional pole sitter, but these laps are going to come in fast and furious. Rafael Torres here. So there was a practice race last night, just practice in a short 20-minute race, and Rafael did win that one. So he looks to be quite fast. He can keep it on the track, not get any 1Xs, and his lap will count. As he heads down. So a lot of these drivers, just like myself, honestly, as Torres takes the provisional pole, a lot of these drivers, not too familiar with this particular circuit, Zandvoort here, not as common of a track out there. So really getting up to speed this week. We can be confident that Rafael probably knows this circuit like the back of his hand. That he's a pro out here. So just slight edge over Hill there in second position as we follow. Let me get my follower to let you know who's the camera's actually following. Is Kennedy goes wide. I think that is near the final curve, and he calls it in. So we have another driver. I don't believe Tino here, Sullivan, was out here last week. That orange car that's going by. But he's here this week. So he's heading towards the Kumo Bend, I believe, and that will then take him to the RA line search. Yeah, here we go. So the tunnel west straight. It's going to have a really good draft. I think that is off of... I'm going to slow him down as he heads into the corner there, though. Tino was pretty quick last night as well. Yeah, you can see what he did that lap. So that was good for him to get that slipstream. That slipstream was awful. Wasn't Scott. Wasn't Yakov for sure. He's got that familiar orange livery. Let's see if we can figure out who these. So Hendrik, according to this, Zandvoort, new driver out here this week. Circling the track, number 16 from Virginia. See how he can do tonight. We'll see if he can take us around this corner. So this is the Audi curve, and that will take us to the Kumo Bend up there, and that takes you after that to the Ari Lyondike curve at turn 13, and that takes you on the front straightaway. We've just seen that with, I believe that was Tino back there. So we'll be heading towards the Tarzan Bend up ahead. Unfortunately, we haven't had a chance to see the circuit. So the circuit has been updated to FIA Grade 1 standards for the Formula 1 race, but that race was obviously postponed this year. So we haven't gotten a chance to see the new track. I'm sure there's a track map out there, but I don't know the difference between what we have here and what that track is out there. So you can see Henry here using some of those curves. They're a little bit treacherous from a quick test that I ran driving around. These curves occasionally pulled me into the Armco barrier there, so if I tried to hop it a little bit, it really pulled me in, and it took me a couple laps out here to really get a good feeling at this track, as we see Henrik circle the track for us here. So I believe that was out of the Vodafone curve, turn 9, and he'll be heading towards that Audi S up ahead. And this is the familiar route that we've seen so far today. So we have a pretty big gap between the first 3 cars. Brad Kennedy, one of our fast cars from last week, is in 4th as he goes around, saves it though, but those tires will be flat spotted. As I saw, that was not Peter Lanik, Jakub Bielik there, just coming up on the car that was turned around there. So what I was about to say was that there's kind of a large gap between those first 3 cars. Zandvoort is 2 seconds off of pole, a second and a half off of that P3 position. So we'll see how these guys from 4th to 17th really will be able to improve their times from here. This is an extremely challenging track. Not everybody knows this one as well. I know that, so Fitzgerald isn't in here yet. I know that this was a particularly new track to him, so that was our 2nd place driver from last week, and he was thinking that he might have known the track a little bit better. I was just reading his comments out here, and he was more familiar with the other Dutch track of Zolder. Honestly, I wouldn't know the difference between the two off the top of my head. I know I've watched some races from Zolder, but I haven't driven Zandvoort or Zolder. I drove Zandvoort just this week. That's my first laps on there, although possibly I drove it back in our factory. We were driving the old Grand Prix 79 mod, possibly, but I don't know how it would have changed since then. So far, we've got 16 cars have set a lap. As Bielik here, struggling to get around here in the 9th position, trying to get his lap time a little bit up. So this league, just wanted to mention, so this league is based on, it's BMW Car Club of America, National Capital Chapter, but it is welcome anybody that is interested in these BMW Z4s. They also run some races with the GTEs and any of the other BMW cars that are out here in iRacing, as we have one car, I think that we might have off of the straightaway, but if you're interested in driving these cars, kind of a good group of drivers out here, feel free to search the iRacing leagues and apply to them anytime. They'd be happy to have you. So we've got Bradford has completed a lap. He's currently on pit lane. So all 17 drivers currently in the session have set a lap in one form or another. This is Brian here in the 12th spot, number 18 car. I think we're going to have a really interesting battle tonight between that anybody from that 4th spot and beyond. As I see Hill has actually set the divisional pole. Now that is a very cool looking BMW Performance Parts car. I haven't seen that one. We've got in the thumbnail for this video, you can see I have the white version of this car. I have not seen the black version. That's pretty cool. And he's 0.6 of a second faster than Torres at the moment. So this, in addition, this series runs the fixed setup. So, you don't have to adjust anything if you're not the setup builder. Everybody's starting with the same thing. You might be able to tweak the brake bias, but that's about it. Kind of the issue last week with the fuel, these cars only started with 15 gallons. I think we fixed that for this week, but nobody was able to change that starting fuel from what it's had it set up to. As Hill heads around, believes that's a orange car out here tonight, though. So Hill here, in that number 1 car, currently in P1, it looks like Raphael might have met his match here, although Fitzgerald and Kennedy put the heat on him last week. The last 2 races were the pre-season introduction round, and last week he won both of those, so if he'll keep it together, he'll be able to kind of rattle Raphael there. Scott Kim here in the 10th spot, black livery. Looks like he's heading into that, into the Kumo. Oh, actually, that's not. That was the Vodafone curve. Now heading into the Audi S. So he's in the series here. Had some issues last week in the race, so he'll be looking to have a better performance this week. He got involved in kind of a first lap incident off of the grid, and wasn't too happy about that. But that's how racing goes sometimes. So I was actually incorrect earlier when I called that Audi S curve. This that was coming out of it. Now he's heading through the Kumo curve and onto Jari Leyendyk onto the front straightaway. And it appears that somebody has knocked him back to the 11th position. As Zandvoort also appears to have improved upon his lap time. It's at least brought that gap down to a second. Back to Solomon there. As we head into 5 minutes left in qualifying. So that's going to give these guys that are circling the track here maybe 4 laps. We'll extend the session to whoever's out on that hot lap at the time. Zandvoort here is going to be getting a good little slipstream off of that Valvoline car. I'm not 100% sure who that is. Let me see if I can figure out who that is. That was Brian Kennedy. Peter Lanik in that other, the white BMW performance car. So he's our thumbnail car. So Colin Kordenek's in the Valvoline car here. So I should have known that, but I might not have had his livery rolled up. I think it was in the, as he puts a wheel in the grass and saves it though. Good driving by him. Had that car sideways, but he keeps going. So Kordenek actually did get on the podium at that Okoyama round because we interviewed him. Did not have the best race last week, but he'll be looking to improve this week. Stephen Tenney up against the barriers there. Benson circling around in the 15th position. As I saw, let's see here. I thought I saw somebody improve up there in the top 5, but I'm not seeing it. Was it Lanik? Yes, Lanik has moved in the first spot over Zandvoort there. Kennedy, who drove strong last week, in the 6th position. As we head to 2.5 minutes left in this qualifying session, so for Raphael here, he's sitting on pit lane, so he might have called it, and is happy enough. He wasn't on pole last week, I don't think. I think it was Kennedy who had the pole last week as they are flashing their safety lights there. That was Tino and Raphael, I believe. But Raphael had taken the lead after the first couple. I think it was either the first corner or in the first 3 or 4 corners at Spa. He had taken the lead even though he didn't start first. So I do think that grid positions are more important here than they were last week at Spa, though. Kind of the main passing point's going to be that first corner, and once you get into that lap, you know, you're kind of sitting there just trying to get through these corners, trying not to make a mistake. As Lanik drives through that Vodafone trail. Just a minute left in practice. I don't think anybody's gonna knock Hill off here. But anybody else back here will be able to improve on their lap time. So quite a few cars are sitting on pit lane. Stoltz back here in 14th. That looks like Flanagan ahead of him. Familiar livery, I remember that one from last week. He was doing a little bit of door banging with some other cars. I remember down the Moisson Straight, down the straightaway. Down the Kemmel Straight. That's what it would have been at Spa. Somebody went off into the gravel quite heavily back there. Jeff McClure here. That is another driver that appears to be out here new this week. As it looks like we are done with qualifying, but all drivers that are out currently circling will be able to complete their laps. As McClure got a little bit loose, maybe a little bit of wheel spin coming out of that corner there. But he keeps going. He thinks he can do better on this lap. Most of our cars are. So Tino is still out there. He looks to be on a hot one. Occasionally, I'm seeing that I might have been calling the Vodafone curve, which is turn 9. There's another hairpin over there in turn 3 that I might have been mistaking you with. So, as Tino is coming to the final corner here, Arie Luyendyk Bend, we'll go through our grid here. We have a very quick turnaround between as he gets into the gravel. Everybody else is on the pit lane just about. So we'll do our grid run through. We've got a few seconds before that happens. So our pole sitter here is going to be Christopher Hill at a 1 minute 36.774. The only driver in the minute 36s there, so very strong lap by him, representing Club California well here. So Rafael Torres, minute 37 in P2, Tino Solomon in P3, Peter Lanek in P4. Peter will be happy with that position. Henrik de Zwart in P5, Brian Kennedy in E6. Then we have Yakov Bielik in P7, Colin Kordanek in P8, Joseph Getridis in P9, Brian Hare in P10, Scott Kim, our admin, in P11, Jeff McClure, newcomer this week, in P12, and Stephen Flanagan, P13, Robert Stokes, P14, Robert Benson, P15, Stephen Tenney, P16, and Tim Bradford, P17. I can hear these cars are gridding. And we'll be getting this underway momentarily here as we get everybody on the grid. It's going to be a quick lights out, standing start. Here we go. And we are green for a BMW Car Club National Cup chapter at Zandvoort. Rafael Torres looks inside of Hare. They battle. Hare battles on the outside, but Torres gets the inside line. Hare comes back, but and we have some contact between Rafael and Christopher Hare. As Rafael is going around, it's going to be Peter Lanek is going to take over the lead of this race. As we have Henrik de Zwart in P2 and Tino Solomon in P3. So really good start by both Lanek and de Zwart. Tino kind of a little bit back there. We'll get a replay of that incident in a moment. Exciting first lap here. So we know Tino's going to be fast, but he's back there in that third position. So let me go back, see if we can get the replay of that start. our first two cars starting are now back to the final positions. As Peter Lanek under pressure from Zandvoort there. Exciting first lap stuff here. And we thought this might be a little procedural with Rafael out there, but it was a little interesting. That first corner is where you want to make that move. So we'll go through the field here. The displays up here. So Lanek in the lead. Zandvoort in P2. He started P5, so a good move up for him. Tino here through all that action. He started third, running in third. Kordenek here started 8th, running 4th. As he's coming under pressure from Ryan Kennedy, who started 6th, running 6th. As I see Jakub Bielek going a little bit wide there, but he looks like he saved it. That was Brian Hare ahead of him. Stephen Flanagan's moved up from 13th to 9th. He's under pressure. That's Hill already coming back up through the field here, passing Flanagan. Flanagan looked like I'm not going to be battling that one too much. As Torres back here in the 13th spot, starting 2nd. So these Torres and Hill are going to be moving up through the field. We'll be keeping an eye on that. So 26 minutes left in the race here. Exciting stuff so far. Things are settling down just a little bit at the moment, though. I have to imagine that Lanek's heartbeat is gotta be up 150 beats a minute at this moment. Seeing the victory, I mean, it's 25 minutes ahead of him, but you can see that a really good position for really these top 3 drivers. If he's looking at his relatives, though, he's going to see Hare back here in 6th coming up really quickly as he works around Kordenek. I'm sorry, not Hare. He had some collision there. Let me see if I can go back and figure out what it was. Oh, we still have Hare looking into the... What I meant to say was Hill was going to be moving up through the field here. Let's get a replay of what happened here. It was Hill and Kordenek. Kordenek went a little bit wide there. Brian Hare just unfortunately gets involved with that, just gets turned around. Almost no fault of his own, and he takes the worst of it. Lanek still leads. As Hill, here's who I was. Let's see, how far? So Hill is back 10 seconds from the leaders, so that is who Lanek and Zandvoort and Sullivan are going to be sweating about a little bit. They're going to hope that Kordenek here, it makes it difficult for Hill to get by. Hill's 3 seconds back from Kordenek, but he's going to be catching him quickly. We know that. He was, so Kordenek last lap was a minute 40. And Hill was at a minute 38, so 2 seconds a lap faster than Kordenek. Just keeping on Zandvoort here, pressuring Lanek. Tino back there, Sullivan has the third car on the screen there has dropped back slightly. I'm a little bit surprised that he hasn't put on more pressure than this guy, but most of these sequence of corners, Lanek has actually gapped slightly. Goes through Ari Lyondike onto the front straightaway. Hill moving up. He was 10 seconds slower. That is Brian Hare coming out of the pits, so that could be good news for Lanek if Hare is coming out of the pits. That means that Hill up there in 5th position is going to have to go was also in the 37s, but he literally almost did a 37. His last lap was a 37.1, so almost. It was faster than. That's a faster lap than Torres' fastest lap during qualifying, so really good. So here's where I was mentioning Kordenek make this life difficult for Hill getting around him. And we're going to be seeing a pass here coming up, though. And it just depends how long can Kordenek keep him behind him, because he'll be able to run into that gap. He's running, so Kordenek, or Hill, when he's running on his own, is running almost a second and a half faster than the leader. So that lead, currently estimating 19 laps, we're only on lap 5, as he looks inside of Kordenek, and he's going to make that move easily. Kordenek didn't fight too hard there, but Hill almost threw it off the track a little bit there, though. That was out of the Kumo bend onto Ari Leindijk onto the straightaway here. So he drops some time there. Heading back to the lead here. So he's trying to look here quickly. There's a little battles out here. So Raphael has caught up to Ryan Kennedy. And Jakob Bielik isn't too far ahead of him. That he might be thinking, he doesn't have to win this race. He doesn't lead in the points. Fitzgerald isn't here tonight, so that's who it's to. So he doesn't have to throw this off and not get any. He doesn't want to crash his car completely and get no points tonight. So he's just going to try to maybe get back into fourth position. He might be able to get third as Kennedy goes a little bit wide. He's going to make that position easy for Torres there. As he comes back though. Nope, and he got it more, it looks like, as they head into the Audi bend. And then he'll be looking ahead to Bielik. Back up here, back towards the front. Solomon has got around, so does Wart here had some issue as Hill. Okay, so Hare was there. We have Deswart coming under pressure from Hill. So Tino got around. It looks like Henrique here had a little bit of damage on his front left fender there. As these passes for Hill are starting to become more difficult as we head to under 20 minutes to go. 10 minutes of this race at so far. Slight damage to Deswart's fender there is going to slow him down on the straightaways as Hare gets around it. And now Hare is going to set his sights ahead on Sullivan. So Lanik, I think basically Sullivan and Deswart had some kind of issue because Lanik has kind of checked out 5 seconds from that pair, at least at the time they were a pair. So Hill's back into the podium. So Torres has got around Bielik. Kordenek up ahead with his next sight. We'll go on board with Hare here. He's the fastest car on the track. We'll just watch a full lap with him. He's heading into turn 1 here. Tarzan bent. Slight right-hander onto turn 3. That was slow haircut. almost a second back. Let's change our gaps to intervals here. So Solomon actually landed. Oh, as Solomon goes off, it's going to be easy pass for Hill. Lanik is not going to like seeing that back in his relatives. You can see that is Lanik ahead, heading into the first corner. That was a lap here at Zandvoort. It's a minute and a half in these cars. Hill's taking that lead down from what was 10 seconds when he made that mistake, now to under 5 seconds. So it's just a matter of time. How difficult can Lanik make this for him? So while that develops, while we watch that, let's have a look. Kordenek is, so Raphael got around. Raphael's up to the first position. He's got around Henry now. Up ahead of him is Henrik Zandvoort and Tino. Tino here got around Tino when Tino made that mistake. So let's look again. I was talking about best laps, but you can see Hill and Torres only drivers in the 37s. As Tino, that was lap traffic there, Brian Hare. As we are halfway through this race, that lead for Lanik is quickly coming down. So I think Lanik is probably hopes that Hill makes a mistake. I mean, Hill's basically up here trying to do qualifying laps to eat into that lead. You never know how long can you actually keep that up. I can guess that Lanik is also trying to do his own version of qualifying laps, but his last lap was almost 2 seconds slower than while this develops, let's go through the field. So Lanik leads. P2 is Hill. It's third. Torres has moved up to P5. He was back there at about, 12th at some point, down to 13. Kennedy's back in P6 after starting 6th. Yeah, Jakub Bielek here, P7, started 7th. Planning a really good run here as I hear some major coming together between Kordenek and Zandvoort. Yes. And then we have Tenny back here in 12th. Started 16th, so he's moving up a few spots. Robert Stokes in 13th. Jeff McClure, one of our newcomers this week, running back here in 14th. Scott Kim, our admin. At least he'll be happy that he's, I don't know if he's had a pit or anything like that. It looks like he did have to pit on the first turn, but he'll be happy that at least he sees other cars on the track. And we've got Brian Hare, he definitely pitted there too. And Tim Bradford, that Nürburgring does not look very healthy, but he actually has not pit. So, heading back up to the front, we'll head on board with Hill here. He's going to be putting the pressure on real time here on Peter. I see that Raphael in 4th also has a chance of catching Zandvoort before this race gets over. Peter up there in P1 just does not want to make a mistake. He wants to, because if he makes a mistake, he might lose the podium, and he certainly does not want to do that. I don't think that Hill here cares about. I mean, sometimes you'll get some understeer when you're coming up to the car because of the slipstream and the aerodynamics. I don't think Hill has any issue with the slipstream causing any sort of like aero push that some more high downforce cars might have issue with. Not going to be a problem here. So that was the Audi bend. Here a little bit of wheel spin from Hill, but he these cars do have traction control. So any wheel spin will head through the ECU and have some slip angle and traction control take over. Under a second now. Atlantic ahead. Atlantic did do, so literally 1 second difference, like 1.00. This, you can see last lap was a minute 38.62 to a minute 37.62 by Hill. Make sure not to run into the back of Atlantic though. He's got plenty of time to do this. He's got 10 minutes. So you can see the pair heading up to the race first blimp. Just a moment away, I think, from Hill getting the slipstream, but Atlantic's doing a great job defending this. He's fighting like there's no tomorrow out there. We'll see if he keeps it clean. Does he throw a block? These guys usually keep it pretty clean in this league. As they come onto the front straightaway, Hill is going to look inside as they head towards Tarzan Bend. Hard braking. And Hill takes over the lead. Atlantic thought about looking inside, but it just wasn't quite there. That last lap for both of them was, Hill was back into the minute 38, so a pair of laps there. As I see now, we have Torres pressuring Zandvoort here, and you can see Zandvoort has some rear bumper damage. He's been in the wars today. You can see a car earlier as going straight. Actually, I don't think it was actually. Rafael gets a little bit into the grass a little bit into the dirt. He's looking left and he's looking right, trying to make this move, getting back on the podium here. Now that is the Audi bend. Audi S-bend, in fact. I can see Tino also back there in P5 as Rafael is right on that bumper of Henrique here. He's going to be in that slipstream as they head down straight away on the Tarzan Bend. He's going to look, so Henrique guards the inside line. Rafael has to go take the hard way around, but he makes it work. And he is back into the podium position. So looking through the field to see if I can find any other close battles out here. These were our two big moves. I don't think we've got 7.5 minutes left in this race. That is, well, I mean, it could happen. Looking at gaps, if Rafael puts down some qualifying laps, he could catch up to Atlantic back here in P2. So Atlantic's kind of held. He hasn't dropped back that far from Hill. You just got to maintain that gap back to Torres, and he'll be assured that podium position. Looking through the field, so we have Benson fighting with Flanagan back here. As Zandvoort has had a mistake out here. He's trying to get that car pointed forward again. That was in the Arie Luyendyk bend. Let's see if we can figure out what happened to him. Might have just overcooked it in the corner there. He dropped back. Okay, he got it into the grass. And, oh, he makes a little bit of contact in the... Jakob Bielik there just made it through. He's running 6th now. Yeah, not a good time to make that kind of mistake because there isn't much time for come back from that one at this point. I do see we have 2 cars. Stokes and Bradford are they're in the pit. They might be calling it a day. I'm not saying that they are calling it a day yet, but I think they're not far from that day. So Benson and Flanagan. Oh, we've got some heavy contact between these 2 drivers. As I was mentioning earlier, Flanagan not not a stranger to the contact. Let's see what happens between these 2. So he guards inside from Benson. Flanagan tries to give him a little door, and they both hit the wall. I have to imagine that Benson feels like there's a little bit of karma back there with Flanagan. Let's see if he gets it situated. Now he's under pressure from Scott Kim. This is actually our best battle on the track here, so this is our min. We'll see if he drives that rough with the admin of the series. I don't know if he will. Overall, though, before that happened, Flanagan was having a really good run in this race. We'll go on board with our admin here. Let's see what's on Flanagan here. So let's look at, fastest laps are pretty comparable between these 2 drivers. Kim has been faster through this race. Flanagan's guarding that inside line down the straightaway here. Flanagan guards that inside line. Kim thinks about going outside, but he wasn't quite there. As I see Torres had some kind of issue because he's back and forth now. Oh, we had contact between Solomon and Torres. As I mentioned earlier, Torres might just want to, he wants to get a good finish here. Kim, there's also this good battle between Kim, so I'm watching this battle between Torres and Solomon, and Kim and Flanagan. So Solomon back in the podium. So as I was mentioning earlier, Torres was going to have to do some kind of qualifying lap to get up to Atlanta, but he made a mistake somewhere in there, and that's how it went. Solomon got by. As Torres makes a little bit too hot into the corner, that makes another mistake. I think that Kim might have made a mistake here as well. Flanagan anymore. As we say that, Solomon has dropped out of the podium position. Let me miss something there. So Solomon goes a little bit wide, and Torres gets by, but then so does Kennedy. Gets by. Some kind of issue there for Solomon as he drops out of podium position, and now Torres is back exactly where he wanted to be, in that podium position. Laps to go at this point. Yeah, it looks like Hill had it off there. His last lap was a minute, it actually doesn't even come up with a lap, so he had some kind of issue there. And it gets back around. You can see that car's damaged, but will it matter? Looks like he's right on that bumper as they head onto the front straightaway. We're going to be final lap here. Final lap. The clock runs out. We'll see what Hill can do. Can Lanik hold him off here? Torres has had to pit. Kennedy's going to move into that third position. I'm not going to cut away from this battle for the lead here between Hill and Lanik. Hill had some wheel spin coming off that out of that bend there, and Lanik pulls away from him. Lanik just needs to hold on another about a half a lap here. Oh, he makes a lot of ground on him in that corner. Hard on the braking. Nearly runs into the back of him. Hill wants this victory, but so does Lanik. So they're going to head through the Audi bend here. Then on the Kumo bend, this is going to be probably... the Flanagan's up ahead, I see. This is going to be Hill's kind of last chance here. Lanik, can they hold him off? Don't want to go too hot into these corners. They're going to head through Ari Landic Bend. It's going to be a finish to the... a photo finish nearly. I thought he might have a run on him, but Peter Lanik is going to take the victory here at Zandvoort with Hill in third, or in second, and Bielik is somehow going to get up to the third position here on this final lap here. It's showing him in fifth. He was fifth before the last lap. Wow. Okay, let's see. We're going to see where everybody lines up here. So we've got Bielik in third position. Going over the line. Wow. Really good racing here at the end here. We will get our things sorted, make sure we have everybody where they're supposed to be, and then we'll do our podium interviews here. All right, we'll get Yakov. I got you up in the booth. Congratulations on third position. How's it going? And maybe we have him up here. Maybe we don't. I got you. I got you. Well, yeah, I think, not to interrupt you, but I think, wasn't that first lap incident, didn't you just get around one of those incidents? Or well, congratulations, man. And from what, so I was watching Peter and Hill there on the final lap, and I saw you were in fifth, and then suddenly you were in third. So tell me about that. Well, congratulations, man. I mean, that. Yeah, so anybody you want to thank out there, and any thoughts going into, I think we're at Barcelona next week, Circuit de Catalunya, I believe. Yeah, tell me about that crafting for the cure. I wasn't 100% sure what that was, so tell me about that. Okay, very good cause then. Well, that's a good, good shout out to them. Good run today. Again, any thoughts going into next week at Barcelona? Okay, well, unfortunately, I'm getting some word that we weren't able to hear your interview, so I'm looking into this. I apologize. So they can hear me, but they can't hear you. See if there's anything I can do on my end. So bear with me a moment. We tested this before the race, but something got changed apparently. So how about just try to talk now and see if we can get anything? Unfortunately, like I can hear you, but they cannot. So something has changed. Well, that stinks. No, it is not. Yeah, it's just hang with me a moment if you don't mind. We'll just go extra time if we have to. Yep. So why would not be? I have like my headphones are selected. And obviously the game was Yep, that is not working. I'm not getting anything. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Let me see if I can I'll try one last thing here. Um all right, trying now. I think it was doubling up me now. Okay, so now try you one more time. It's not getting anything, unfortunately. So I apologize for the mess up tonight. How about next week we get you guys, because I'm going to have this issue with everybody, we get you guys in the booth before the race or something like that, and or we'll figure it out with Scott what we want to do. Unfortunately, there's a mess up. We always test this before the race with one of our people out there, but unfortunately, when it came race time, it did not work. So. All right, well, you have a good one. Sure, thanks. So I'm not sure. It is. Yeah, I think that we do the start of the next one is what probably the best idea is. I apologize for the screw up. I did test it before the race here.